If one thing has become abundantly clear over the last few months, it's that we live in a world that is broken, a world marred by sickness and pain and suffering. It's been in our face more than ever with COVID-19, hasn't it? Every day the numbers have reminded us of it. And the Bible is very clear that we are right to come to that conclusion. Something has gone very wrong in this world. And to start to see what that is, we need to go right back to the start of everything. See, if you read Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2 at the start of the Bible, we read that God made everything good. It was very good. Man lived in harmony with one another and in relationship with God, the relationship we were made for. So what went so badly wrong? Well, the short answer is sin. Starting with Adam and Eve and every human since, we have said to God, the one who made us, who loves us, and who gives us every good thing to enjoy, we've said to him, I don't want your love. I don't want your wisdom. I don't want anything to do with you. You can leave. I'm going to do things my own way. And as a consequence of that broken relationship with God came a world broken and stained by sin. The brokenness of our world around us screams that there is a big problem. It's a painful signpost to us that all is not well. C.S. Lewis, the writer of the Narnia books, says in his book, The Problem of Pain, God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our conscience, but shouts in our pain. It is his megaphone to rouse a deaf world. See, our suffering is to shout to us that we have a sin problem that separates us from God. It's meant to wake us up from our slumber, to remove the facade that everything is fine, when it really isn't. The broken world around us shouts to us that we have rejected our Maker and are cut off from relationship with him that we were made for. And because of it, we are left on our own without hope. But God hasn't left us on our own. In the face of rejection and rebellion, the Bible tells us that God entered this sin-stained world as a man to rescue us. He made the first move to deal with our sin problem once and for all. Listen to these amazing words about Jesus over 400 years before he was born. It says, he was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain. Like one from whom people hide their faces, he was despised and we held him in low esteem. Surely he took up our pain and bore our suffering. Yet we considered him punished by God, stricken by him and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed. This was pointing forward to God entering our world in the person of Jesus and suffering and dying for you and for me. It says that he took the punishment that our sin deserves, so that our rejection of God could be forgiven, so that we could be friends with God, so that our big problem could be dealt with. If only we will come before God saying sorry for rejecting him and put him back in the rightful place of God of our lives. See, our temptation when faced with a broken world, maybe to conclude that there is no God or that he doesn't care about us. Well, the Bible says that he cares about us enough to enter our brokenness, to suffer and to die for us, to deal with our biggest problem, to deal with our sin, that we might be able to run to Jesus and be saved and come into relationship with God. And the certain hope for those trusting in Jesus is that one day Jesus will return and he will make all things new, a new heavens and a new earth, where there will be no more sickness or sadness or pain or death, because sin will be no more. All of those things will be done away with and never to be seen again. And the only reason that he hasn't done that yet is because Jesus is being patient, giving as many people as possible opportunity to return to him and be saved, to be there with him, enjoying relationship with God forever. And so this world around us, this broken world, calls out to us, there is something seriously wrong. But God has entered this brokenness to save us in Jesus. So why not take the time to look at Jesus, to read an account of his life in one of the Gospels? We'd love to give you a copy, to find out for yourself just who Jesus is and why the rescue he offers is so amazing.